And today I'm joined by
Nathan Nerdarchy.
Somewhere over there is Nerdarchy Dave behind the cameras. So we are without intern Jake today, and therefore Dave has to hit the button.
I have to run. Run for it. So with any luck, we will begin. This thing has started, but I am not feeling the love because there we go. Something's happening. There it is. All right.
We decided to do some new tech stuff. And we were excited to see if it worked or not.
Well, no, then we decided to not do the new tech.
Oh, that's right, yes.
Because we run our DSL camera, like they automatically shut off after like 30 minutes of shooting video. There's a piece of software we use that jailbreaks it to keep it going. But we're like, maybe we can just run it straight through OBS. And we were kind of doing that earlier and it just shut off. We're like, maybe we shouldn't do that. At least yet. Maybe we need to do some more testing.
So, we didn't want to have the audience, kind of lose us halfway through.
Yeah, and then have to finagle things.
Live chat part 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's never goes well. But we're here, we're doing the thing, a couple minutes behind, not much.
So it's the, first Saturday in July. That means I got a giveaway to announce. We got a game to announce.
We just all celebrated America Day.
We did.
I didn't celebrate it at all, to be honest with you.
You weren't even in the country for it.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you were out of the zone.
Although I did have a Canadian mock us in our American ways, handing out her Canadian candies on the 4th of July. Caitlin. No, Caitlin was awesome. When I got there, she was handing out dice bags that she made full of Canadian goodies.
Oh, cool.
There was Canadian maple leaf tattoos and a Canadian flavored pencil, so all kinds of Canadian
flavored pencil.
Well, it had Canadian stuff on it,
Oh, okay,
the
not
colors.
like flavor,
tastes like Canada.
The taste of Canada.
That's why I was confused. I'm sorry.
No. But yeah, it's good.
Oh, there we go. The chat's here and awake. Yay.
Yeah, they're doing stuff. They're doing the things. So, but that was fun,
So Scott's apparently glad that you're back. Arcania works.
Oh yeah. I'm like, I don't see any Scott in the chat. What the frick are you talking about?
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Dave hung out in France in a castle for the past couple of days.
Yeah. Satine Phoenix just kept going there. Everybody's like, look up. You look up when you're outside. It's a castle. We're playing D&D.
So, we did a video on your experiences, but I'm certain that, you're going to take some part of this today and share with those guys out there some of it.
No, they got to wait until...
No, man.
Oh, yeah, there's a video. There's a video on it coming up.
Yeah.
Just have to wait and see.
Maybe you can go next time. Jason... Jay is in the... I always get confused when I see Jason Jay. Because I'm like, no, it's Jay. Who's this Jason guy? But he was one of the people that made it happen. And actually, he was the one that actually got me in. Got me in on the D&D the Castles. Jose Cerez wants to know, where is Chubby?
Oh? What is that?
He's actually asking, where's E. Cubby?
Oh.
By the
I'm
way,
like, Chubby, there's like 3 Chubbies right here.
By the way, I have no idea what that was about. I was clueless.
I know, that's the brilliance of it.
I'm like, this is kind of annoying me. I don't know what this is about.
I know. All I kept thinking is all these people are like, why the frig is this paper cutout guy called E. Cubby in all these pictures?
And why is he letting you eat pizza and all this? Pizza in France. How was pizza in France, by the way?
Weird.
Yeah.
There was one of the pizzas had a fried egg on it in the center.
Just in the center?
Just in the center.
Nah, it's like a topping that's around the...
No, just one in the center. There was other toppings. All right, so this is how that came about. I didn't even talk about this.
Because you didn't talk about that in the video.
I didn't talk about it in the video, so we can totally do this, right? So they decided one day to do lunch differently because of dietary restrictions or having issues or whatever. So they came around and got everyone's lunch order. And there was 3 choices to be made. We didn't know what we were making choices on other than it was lunch. So we're like, all right, how many things are there? They're like, 11. I'm like, all right. So I forget who did it first, but they grabbed the D12. Then we all grabbed the D12. And we randomly rolled. Then we found out we were actually rolling for pizza toppings after it arrived. And then, like, I was thinking, this is a real big problem because we actually have no correlation to our numbers to what we're getting. So they can show up with anything, and it could be anybody. So they're like, who ordered the blah, blah, blah? I'm like, what number was that?
I rolled a D12 and ignored 12s.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow, that's bold.
And it's it was a little bit safer.
That's how you got the fried egg.
Yeah, it was a little bit safer because there were pizza toppings, but like we could have been ordering entrees. It could have been anything. That's right. Look, man, we're not gonna wuss out. We're playing D&D in a castle.
But you're the kind of guy who eats anything. And
I do.
On the hand,
Doesn't move, eat it. If it doesn't move, eat
That's
it.
thinking about the horror. I might order something and then not get lunch because I refuse to eat it.
He did. He reluctantly came back with me e-cubby. So for you folks that don't know what an e-cubby is, Nate. So e-cubby is like Flat Stanley.
Okay.
If you ever heard of that, but it's for Cub Scouts.
Got it.
And if you don't know what a Flat Stanley is, because I'm like, it's kind of like a Flat Stanley. People are like, what's that?
My wife knew what a Flat Stanley was. She said, it looks like a Flat Stanley. I'm like, yeah, but it's an e-cubby, so I have no idea.
Yeah. So it's a little paper cutout dude that kids have, and they take, the idea is you take them places and take pictures of them places doing things. Mine was a sailing a castle.
Yeah,
He came up with some brilliant strategies. Attack by train. No one will expect that.
David was talking to me about it while we were over at Mom's.
You'll have to rebuild e-cubby for Dave in miniature form. That would be great. James Leslie Uthengar has his own. Well, he does kind of. He's got Golem. Is that his name? My rock guy. It's like a little rock golem. Rune.
That's it. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not Golem.
Yeah. He just hangs out with me at this point. He doesn't really do anything all that useful anymore. He was much more useful early on.
Well, he still does research and stuff for you, right?
Yeah, but we don't have time for that. We're busy slaying demon lords.
Oh, that's right.
Who's got time for that?
You didn't ask the rock guy if we're like, hey, what do you think about going to hell? What's there?
He's like, you go. I'll stay here.
Leave me back here.
Hey, I'm allergic to that place. I've been there before. It's terrible for my hygiene.
So as always, if you got a question for us, throw Nerdarchy your question in there in front.
So Dylan the Viking, what are your thoughts on Open Legend System? Never heard of it.
Open Legend is pretty darn cool. I don't even know whether that's on camera.
Some of it right over here.
I read like 13 session
story
arc on the channel. Other Skies is the name of it.
It was fun to watch.
Yeah, there's a playlist you can check out.
Ty had commented on one of the videos recently about he misses running with that crew.
It was a fun game. It absolutely was something that I enjoyed.
And I thought the way you ended it was really awesome. So we were in 3 different places, so it would be really cool to just either pick it up right there and figure out how things move on, or fast forward a couple of years.
It seemed like the appropriate ending to that kind of story that it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, because you asked about Open Legend, what we did is we decided to run a game and we let our patrons pick the type of game it would be, what genre. So we kind of did a poll, and it was like Eldritch Horror, Fantasy, Steampunk, and Espionage were all really close together. So I'm like, fine, I'm running Eldritch Horror, Espionage, Fantasy Steampunk game. And I just mashed them all together, and there were airships, there was Cthulhu monsters,
there was Etherball,
there was Etherball.
We had a session 0 and session 0.5.
Yeah, pretty much. So we dug it.
I really enjoyed it. I thought the last session was awesome, and the way things kind of ended, really was that that horror-esque kind of feeling, because you really don't know where things could go or would go from that moment. We ended it, dealt with the problem, but ... A
problem. You're like, did this really fix all the problems? It fixed the immediate problem anyway.
So I thought it was a really, really enjoyable game, and like so many other games that we've stopped playing that I could really be like, all right, let's pick up those characters and keep going.
It almost turned into a game revolving around sports, a sport game in it too, like that. For a moment during session 0, I definitely thought it was going that route. They're gonna be like, we all want to be other ball players and we want to be in the league. I'm like, all right, that'd be interesting to figure out.
Well, for good or for ill, that didn't happen.
That'd be like the day job of superheroes, and then their adventures when they're off the court.
So I know that you guys homebrew some stuff, but have any of you looked at the homebrew stuff created and posted on D&D Wiki? If you have, what are your thoughts on some of it? It's a deep dark hole that you should not go down.
About 1% or less of it is usable in 5th edition.
In any game.
I've looked at a good amount of it, and I would say that for the most part, you basically always have to question, okay, what am I going to have to change to make my DM think this is okay?
I thought you were going to mention, what do I have to change about my sanity to understand why I'm here?
I would say I haven't seen enough stuff that's usable for me without changing it that I don't use it as a resource, I guess, is what I
look at it pretty much for comedic value, to what people think is okay to have as player options. I've read some of the races and classes. Every once in a while, someone will share a link and be like, I want to use this in my game. Share it on just general Facebook. And I'm like, okay, let's go look at that. And be like, oh my God. But your first level powers are far more, are far better than some of like the capstone abilities. Like, nope, don't think so.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed, especially with archetypes, is that there's a desire to make a really cool archetype, but the thing you got to step back from is this better than all of the other ones already out there in this class?
Sometimes combined.
Yeah, so like if you combine the champion and the battle master together, that's not like a legit thing to do. Like that's too much stuff and it's too good.
So to sum up, avoid it. It's probably the easiest thing to do.
Well, Step 1, apply gasoline. Step 2, add match. Step 3, watch it burn.
There's a lot of creativity going on there, so you can still have access to thinking about it and saying, oh, well, how would I do this in a more balanced way?
I think I saw something that was like, okay, you get your regular hit points, but then you get bonus hit points on top of that every single level. Like, really? Why? Like, in addition to more than what you would get from other classes.
So I guess that sums it up that we're not fans.
I think so.
John Fitzpatrick, K gang, welcome back. Dave, thank you.
Jason Tweeter. Sort of. Jason Teeter says, how to break a game in 3, 2, 1, D&D Wiki.
Yeah. Jay was over in the castle. He helped put together like the GMs and the tables and stuff.
Cool.
So he was an integral cog in the vast machine of D&D in a castle.
So, all right. We don't have a game scheduled this weekend. You got a game tonight, Dave?
Yeah.
Oh, no, Nate?
I know who you're talking to. Yeah, I'm playing, I think, episode 16 of Holden Mordanes.
Nice.
And I have just finished editing the first part of episode 5, so I'm a bit behind as far as getting them out there. I'm about 40 hours behind on but, I put in the effort, and there was a lot of stuff I had to edit it out because I changed the settings on my mic, and at the time I was picking up way too much child noises from upstairs and like
I know how to fix that. You just get rid of the children.
Be like, leave, go out, fend for yourself.
You just got to ask the Goblin King to take them 3 times.
That's a lot of asking.
Dude, after like 30 times they'll all be gone.
So
but doesn't he have?
He'll show up exhausted.
5,000 kids.
He'll show up exhausted, like, oh my God, again? Really? Couldn't you just sent the last one with me? No, there's rules we must follow.
Even a waiter will get annoyed if you ask for water right after they come back with your soda. You're like, yeah, okay, just take them away. So I'm going to be a little less heavy-handed with the editing just to be able to get all the rest of them out there quicker.
That's eventually what happens when you're like, ah, fuck it.
Yeah, I know I coughed there, but it's just gonna stay in. I know there's 30 minutes of rolling and rules questions. That's just gonna stay in. I mean, 30 seconds of rules questions. That's just gonna stay in.
30 minutes of rules questions. That's a lot for a game.
Yeah. Well, there's sometimes where people will be like, "Oh, what's the rule on this?" And I usually try and chop that out just to speed up the because
Real quick, Bendro Rodrigo wants to know favorite aquatic monsters. Go.
Favorite aquatic monsters? Oh,
you took long. What's your favorite?
Giant octopus.
I like using Sahagin. Sahagin are a lot of fun. If you're talking high levels, I mean, you can't go wrong with a Kraken. But Sahagin offer a lot more usability, like for levels.
Was it Scrags? Was that what they were called? Scrags.
The sea trolls?
Yeah. Back in the day, Scrags were kind of vicious, especially Troll and Fire. Like, but the water.
And Aboleth. I dig Aboleth. So.
How can you not dig the Aboleth?
I consider Aboleth more like, an Underdark monster. Than,
they're usually like Underdark, aquatic.
They don't slop around like a slug. They're in the water.
I know, but I don't associate, like, when you say aquatic, I think,
You look like you just wanted to punch him in his head. Like, how dare you?
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're from the deep, dark
like
plane.
They look like freaking fish, for the love of God.
They're from the plane of water, so not a lot of Underdark there. I know what you mean, though. I had one in a city, like in the sewers underneath the city. So, I mean, cool. It's like, I understand what you're talking about.
That's just my association, so. But Aboleth are absolutely a really cool monster to use. And they're, penchant for, psionics. Makes sense.
That's not the only reason I chose them.
That was too tame.
Yes. And Mind Flayer aren't known for swimming, so I had to pick some of them.
Yeah, I had to go somewhere else because you said Sahagin. Sahagin are really cool for when you go to aquatic, especially the forearm ones.
Yes.
It's kind of cool. And, there's been some really great art for Sahagin as well. But, oh, man, I forget the name of it. It's like, it's got the lower body of an octopus, but it's like the upper body is kind of humanoid with a fish head. Doug, tell me what it's called. It's like Morcock or...
Morkoth?
Something like that. They have that hypnotic pattern kind of ability, but I forget the name of it off the top of my head. John Plowman just got here. How was gaming the castle? It's exactly what you think it was. It was freaking awesome. Like, we're not doing any D&D this weekend, and I don't care. Yeah.
Thanks, Doug.
I knew he was there to get it. But yeah, it's exactly what you thought of it. It was freaking awesome. 6 sessions. I played 6 sessions this week, so I'm more than happy to not actually play D&D this week. We're going through the drive-in tonight. And we are going to see Ant-Man and Wasp and The Incredibles 2. So that is going to be fun, I think. So that's going to be just vegging out in a chair watching movies.
Nice. I'm jealous. I want to see both of them. My kids have already seen Incredibles 2 through their summer program that they're doing.
Okay.
Teddy, of course, loved it. Gabrielle's like, well, I don't remember watching the first one. Like, she doesn't tend to sit still long enough to really enjoy movies.
Have you ever considered duct tape?
I have, but it's highly frowned upon. So
I would not frown.
But I am up to speed, which is why I'm wearing Voltron shirt today.
You know what? I am so far behind on Voltron. I got a couple more episodes of Luke Cage to watch.
Okay, I caught up on Luke Cage.
Yeah, I had this whole France thing that came up. So
I still have to, my Netflix is like, hey, you still have, Supergirl and Flash to watch. But
I've given up on all of those. I'm so far behind. It's like I can never catch up now.
But Luke Cage and Voltron came out, and I was still watching Arrow, and I'm like, oh my god, I've got all of these. Flash was already out. Supergirl then came out before I finished on Luke Cage, and I'm like, ah.
And the problem with all those shows is they don't run them right. They have to understand the Netflix mentality. You just watch one show till it's done, then you watch the next one. So your crossovers are very confusing.
Yeah,
you're doing it wrong. You're messing up the Netflix.
That is my biggest problem with the DC.
Yeah,
they do a lot of crossovers.
Is that WB? What is that? CW.
The CW.
Curse you, CW.
But you know, so it's like the crossovers I get screwed on, but everything else I've been enjoying.
You just watch and accept you just aren't going to know what's going on in this episode.
Yeah, pretty
Be
much.
like, well, you just punched somebody already. I understand that. That just makes sense. I don't know why you're punching them.
But the the Earth X crossover that goes through all 4 shows, that I don't watch the 4th show, so I don't think I'll get to see what the finale is.
Just watch that one.
That's what I'll probably do. Is I will go and find out where that is, and then I'll watch that episode. But what were they called? The Legends of Tomorrow. I just didn't really care for it.
Understandable. There's a lot of those shows now.
And then at some point in time, I'm gonna have to check out Black Lightning because I've heard rave reviews on that one.
Oh, Black Lightning's really good. Oh, were you talking to my son?
No, I've just on the internet. It's gotten good reviews.
That one just popped up, and we're like, oh, we can watch this one. And so far it's been very self-contained, so that makes it really easy too. I feel like. But
the Marvel stuff. The Defenders, like, they're all over the place with characters that intermingle between shows.
Yeah.
So, like,
what about Cloak and Dagger? Have you checked any of that out?
That's on the list too. That looks really phenomenal.
It's kind of slow moving.
Is it? Okay.
It's like we're watching it. We're in
Cloak
like.
and Dagger? I'll have to check
I think we got one more to watch. There's like 6 or 7 of them out right now, and we're behind by 1, I think.
But my son enjoyed Voltron so much that. Because it's so short, like, it's like 8 episodes, and they're all 20 minutes, so, like, you could watch it as a movie, really. He's already watching it a second time through all.
At this point, I just need to, like, jack this stuff in, like, the Matrix and be like, I know Voltron! So.
Yeah, I haven't been able, all the shows Ted named, I haven't been able to check out. I'm, like, on episode 5 of the 5th season for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and that's like I watched the first season of Luke Cage, so I haven't caught up with any of that other stuff.
I kind of stopped watching S.H.I.E.L.D.
I used to watch it on the TV, and then like they kept moving it around, and I have no idea when it comes on. I'm like, fuck you guys, I'm out.
When that happened, I stopped watching it as well.
And they got rid of Bobby Starr. I'm out.
So like I have no idea where things are. And at some point in time, it's like, well, I've got nothing to watch, so I'll go and watch that one. But that's in the future.
The future.
In the not too distant future.
So what are you guys out there doing? What's your plans this weekend? Any games happening?
Franken Eater popped in the middle of his game. Welcome back, Dave. Hope you had fun, dude. Running Rise of Tiamat now, so I'll have to check this out later. Stay nerdy, dude.
So he said running Rise of Tiamat. So he took time out from GMing his game.
Be like, wait a minute, group. Hold on a second here. What are you doing? What are you doing your DMs on the phone?
Maybe it's pizza break.
Maybe.
That could be.
Bio break, something.
But he's... lunch break? Because, I mean, he's West Coaster.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, thanks for stopping by.
Score. So what do we got to do? Like, what's the agenda today, gentlemen?
I've got a stack of stuff that I'm giving away.
You're very generous, Ted.
And we've got a game to announce that Nate will be running.
What do we want to do first? We're almost at the halfway mark.
That's your call, sir.
Let's announce the game. You guys want us to announce the game? And Nate's running it?
Yes, I'm running it.
You got next month.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking the game is going to be a little strange. It's going to be like non-standard races. So anything from...
Kobold, Hobgoblin, Orc.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Sounds
Can you
good.
play an Orc and use the half-Orc stats instead?
You could if you wanted to.
Because it could GM.
Yeah, because
the Orc's not stuck.
Yeah, you get boned. So sad. No love for the full-blood Orcs.
And I'm thinking of doing Cult of Dragon stuff, so...
All right, so am I reading? You reading?
Cult of Dragon from Eberron? Oh, no, that's not. That's the Dragon Below.
Yeah. No, this is my own made-up stuff.
You should totally do Dragon Below. So cool.
I'm not actually too familiar with Eberron, even though it has a whole bunch of cool stuff in it.
Oh, no. The Flower of Life Collective. California is turning into Dark Sun.
Ooh, I love Dark Sun.
We'll get that campaign setting one way or another.
There must be defilers running around over there.
Yeah, we can go hang out with our friends from Maze Arcana and visit Dark Sun. This is amazing.
Well, I don't know. You got to be careful of those feral halflings that are cannibals.
That's true.
Sorcerer Kings. Darksun's really not a good place to be in. It's not a bad place to play D&D in, but
No,
I wouldn't want to
definitely
be
not.
there.
So my game is going to be July 22nd, and I'm thinking 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., and that's going to be Eastern Standard Time.
So, am I reading the players or are you reading them?
Yeah, I read the players.
We were doing middle doing a thing, aren't we?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, Dark Sun we all got distracted.
Yeah. Oh, Sorcerer Kings.
So Brian Bundy, Edward Brown, Michael Dingus, Paulo Dwelly. Yeah.
Uleli.
No, unless the L's is a Y. Sorry. Stephen Robertson, Trench Rat, Sven Smith, Craig Simon, Tom Dune, and Jason. And to know which Jason that is, I will email you from Nerdarchy at gmail.com. And if you get it and your name is Jason,
I'm looking. I'm like, what is this
it.
random name by itself? I'm like, oh, that's what that is.
Because they didn't provide, a last name.
which is totally fine.
No. I was looking at this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I think keep them going, don't read that part.
Whatever you do, don't read it.
And the monthly winner is, and so that is the list. I will email those 10 people, and if you provide a good email, you will get a message from me about the game, time, date, and if you're available, and what kind of character. Level-wise, I'm thinking like 5th level.
Atharel wants to know, I'm rewatching the Scarlet Sisterhood series, and I was wondering, how did them defeating the hags and undoing everything the hags did affect the gnome wizard and the goblin familiar? That's a good question, because what happened with the gnome wizard and the goblin familiar wasn't really part of what the hags were doing. It was actually an accident that happened by Borsch interrupting their ceremony and their ritual. So it may not be affected by the hags being undone, or maybe it is. We don't know.
Because we haven't seen Vex in a long time.
We haven't seen Vex, and therefore we haven't seen Daff and Borsch in a long time. So we have no idea what they're up to or what's going on, or if they're going to be the big bad for this whole adventure.
No, I think I stopped watching around episode 14, and I think the last I had heard, like, they were on a boat dealing with like the troglodytes.
Oh, that was a while ago.
And she disappeared, and they're like, we don't know where she is. Did she ever come back, or was that literally...
That's where we left off with that character. That, we're in episode 50-something now, heading towards 60. So.
Yeah, so, like I said, that was a while ago.
Fancy Pants Nerdarchy Ted, he only watches Critical Role now. My game's not good enough for him.
Oh, jeez.
That's basically what I heard.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. I heard it too.
You're not Matt Mercer.
Sorry, I have to watch all these Netflix things instead of the thing you're in, Dave. That's okay. We understand.
I stopped watching D&D while I was working for whatever reason, and then at some point in time, we started watching Critical Role, and I'm like, I should do this. And instead of, watching all of Ingest Quest and Scarlet Sisterhood, I'll get there eventually.
Whoa, wait. You didn't watch Ingest Quest?
I watched some of it.
That's nice.
Ted is dead to us.
It's okay, Ted.
Did Dave watch all of it?
I don't watch stream games.
I don't get to watch a lot of stuff that we do, so it's okay. I'm just messing with you, Ted.
So, yeah. What's next?
So I guess we should. You guys are going to figure it out soon enough. Next week, we're Monday. We're launching a channel update. Probably, it hasn't come back from the editor yet. so
if all goes well,
we are launching the channel update, and that'll give you kind of information what's going on. But we're going to be doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos. We're not going to be able to do the Critical Role reviews that we've been doing, so we haven't figured out what we're doing with that yet. Whether we do a live thing or something, but right now they're kind of on hiatus. The live chats, we are going on hiatus with those as well. I have a couple more scheduled. I got one with Jay coming up this week, and we're going to talk about D&D in the Castle a little bit and stuff that he's got going on, I think, with Cripple God Foundry, which is kind of cool. And I got one later in the month with Nate from Dwarven Forge for stuff that Dwarven Forge is going on. Pretty much, we're going to take a break for those for a little while and see what we got going on with those. We do have something we're working on with the live chats, but that is nebulous and in the future.
No, you had said it, like you're also working on one with Marcia Ray. Is that something that's
No, that is nothing scheduled.
Okay.
So Ted, we shouldn't talk about those things on live. Sorry guys, but yeah, I sent out an email anyway.
Okay.
So we're gonna be taking a break from those. You guys will see a change. We're doing all 3 camera shoot stuff. We got all this like fancy equipment that we don't know how to use, and we're gonna do our best. So
and sometimes buttons are pushed wrong or cameras are set wrong, and we gotta redo work while someone's out of the country, and fun things happen.
And then I get to be in them.
Oh yeah, Nate makes an appearance. We were going to use E-Cubby, but he wasn't as available. He was in France.
Yeah.
And Domo is just, even quieter than Nate. So.
Sigh. Poor Nate.
We could have had a phone like on speaker behind Domo, and then Dave could have just been talking.
Oh, that would have been.
That was a missed opportunity.
That was a missed opportunity.
But then how would we, convince, Domo to look at the right camera?
Domo, whatever camera Domo's looking at is the right camera.
You got to pivot him with your leg. Like, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Well,
so,
no one can see that.
we have stuff to give away.
Yes.
Rumor.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
so
dropping over here. But catching.
This is our monthly giveaway. So there's no, random chat drawing at this point in time. But, from this Nord Games, we've got a stack of, Game Master's Toolbox. So we have the Ultimate NPC Skullduggery, mid-level character cards, the Bugbear, Ogre, Troll Encounter cards.
Yep. More of the Game Master Toolbox, Ultimate Bestiary, Revenge of the Horde, Goblin Encounter Builder,
Knoll Encounter Builder cards.
and Kobold and Okiti Encounter Builder. Okiti.
They're like rat people.
Oh, okay. Rat People Encounter Builder.
And then from the Dungeon Crate Nerdarchy inspired box, we have the last full set of Beardspiration tokens from the our beards, Nate, Dave, Ted. So this is the stack that we're giving away. I've got a whole bunch of Nerdarchist Dave and Nate the Nerdarch Beardspiration tokens, but this is the last full set because this is the last one of mine that I have.
Apparently the Ted Beard inspiration tokens are very rare.
I don't know.
They're collectible.
That is what Wayne sent me as the leftovers.
Someone didn't math very well.
So do we want to announce the winner now, or do we want to tease it out a little bit?
We can tease it out a little bit. So coming up on, let's see, I want to say the 24th. Oh yeah, it is the 24th. It helps when you have the information right in front of you. I will be taking part in a premiere over on Taking 20 for Warhammer Wrath and Glory world premiere live event. We've got Guy from How to Be a Great Game Master. We have, obviously, it's Cody Taking 20, myself, and Ben Scott from Puffin Forest. So it should be a lot of fun. I really know nothing about Warhammer 40k, Space Marines. How can you go wrong? Like fantasy stuff and mech armor. I'm in. I don't care. Just let me shoot stuff. I'll be happy. So
it's grim and there's war all the time.
Yeah, right? What more do I really need to know? I'm going to be too busy like hunkering down and trying to blow away people to worry about what actually happened in history and actually knowing the lore.
Or you could just, spend all of your time between now and then trying to, memorize.
I'm just going to shoot and scream heresy the whole time.
You're a third of the way there.
You're covered.
I've got a plan. I'm sticking to it.
Does it look exactly like you? No? That is bad.
That is bad. Murder it. Yes, I mean, that should be a lot of fun, and that might actually lead into something else on Saber Dice. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that yet, so I won't. Just saying.
It just might.
Use your imagination. Yeah. Well, me and Cody have been talking about Saber Dice and really what it can become. As far as the different shows, like we did the Numenera that you played in. Obviously, we have the D&D shows that are going on over there. And, we're looking at playing some other systems, having other nights. And, maybe me and Cody aren't in those games and we have different people. But, we go into the community and find, people that we enjoy hanging out with and we enjoy their content and get them to come on and get together and play games.
Now, the Numenera game, we are in talks of, potentially doing a second season. And I believe, with all of the travel plans and Gen Con and everything else that, the 5 of us that are doing, we're going to put it on hold until after Gen Con, and then we'll see. So, season 2 might be happening with that.
Yeah, gotta watch my back. That e-cubby works even cheaper than me. Doesn't need to sleep or food and has no other gigs to take up time. Yeah, but we don't trust E-Cubby. He's a despot. Don't let that Cub Scout uniform fool you. It hides and shrouds evil.
So Doug is like, I got to get a stream game going again. I'm jonesing.
Well,
Yeah, he's been talking about that, about a specific game. So we'll see. I forget what things were, so I don't want to spoil. If Doug wants to spoil it in the chat, he can. And
then we can say something.
And then we'll vomit words out about it. But yeah.
Yeah, but I'm excited from what I've read up on the thing he's considering doing. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I know. That's the name of the game he's been looking at. I think he was talking about maybe doing a write-up on it or something, possibly. And also, I think it's Monocle Society is the name of the company. And our friend that was working on Open Legend before Open Legend kind of went away or did whatever it did, was Ryan Chappell. I'm probably butchering the frig out of his name. He's been on the show before. Really cool dude. I've had conversations with him and met him. He's involved. He got picked up by those guys. So, it should be a good deal. But Taz from the Loop is on the short list too. I'd like to run Maze of Blue Medusa too. So Nerder Doug has a lot of things he would like to run. Maybe we'll put you on Saver Dice, man. Step up. You can run something in our EU friendly time slot.
That would work out for the way he keeps his hours too. So
it would. That was actually one of the other things we were talking about, is possibly doing EU friendly time slots. So I think we're super close to launching our next product. I think it's coming out this week.
Yeah, we got some fun stuff going on with that.
The Mage Forge product, it'll be a digital release over on the website. Keep your eyes open and peeled for that. I think maybe even, let's see, what is today? Today is Saturday. So tomorrow we do the newsletter. So we'll probably announce it in the newsletter. I think we should probably get it all buttoned up by then.
Oh, that'd be great.
So
yeah, and I can put it up on the site.
We just need to get it up on the site. It's got a few tweaks it still needs.
I was thinking, why do you keep looking at me about this, Dave? I'm like, oh wait, I know how to do that thing.
There, Doug, finishing it up now until someone notices another bit to tweak. What are the chances?
Yeah.
That's what we like to do. We like to wait until Doug thinks he's done, and then
no, more.
There's actually a list of 15 things, but we only give him 10.
There's a lot of fun stuff in that book, product, whatever you want to call it.
The thingy we made.
The thingy,
yeah, I like looking back at it because, oh yeah, I remember making those things. That's fun.
Yeah, that was from a long time ago. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a book full of magic items, some mundane things, some new materials, a whole new category of magic item that Nate created.
Well done, sir.
Thank you. But I didn't. It's funny because of the original creation of it, I didn't name it as such as an item. But now we've kind of streamlined it, and I think
made it better.
It made it better.
Yeah, made it better. For sure. You can say the name now if you want.
All right, so the 5 decks of cards and the tokens. This is going to Adam Foisey. So congratulations.
I actually recognize the name too. I always like it when it's going to someone when you recognize the name. I'm like, hey, that guy's been around a while.
So yeah, he's done he's done some fan games with us and whatnot. He's a supporter over on Patreon. So thank you for that. If you want to get in on that monthly giveaway, supporting us on Patreon, even $1 a month gets you an entry, as well as heading over to the website, going to the contest forums, printing it out, filling it out, mailing it into our P.O. box.
Super convenient.
Or just, whatever. I put all the names in a random drawing, pull out a name, that's who gets it. So, as Nate will say, it is no affiliation with Patreon or YouTube or, pretty much anything other than we get stuff and we want to send it out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the process is Ted etches all the names into a runestone and puts them in a bag and then pulls one out every month.
It's either that or I make an Excel sheet and go to a random number generator.
So boring.
One of the two things happen.
The E runestone. That's what he uses.
So I will contact you via email, get your address, and be able to mail these out.
So this is an interesting question. Of the groups that you've ran the Maze of Man Dune with, and this is from Atorel, with which one do you think did it the best, or which was your favorite? Does Ted's Relian character still have nightmares? Well, that we'd have to ask Ted about.
I don't think Relion has nightmares. He's more concerned about other things at the moment, and because we're not up to date on what's going on with the gameplays, I don't want to give away too much stuff.
He's having nightmares just for different reasons. But who knows? Maybe that's where it all began. Actually, in some ways, it did.
Because of the ring and his obsession.
Yeah. But then let's see. I did it at a con, and those characters it ended early. They just ran away from everything. They didn't they hardly fought anything. So that one was okay, I guess we're doing it this way. When I ran it for Megan and Jen, I think it was just the two of them. Megan almost got trapped in there forever, and she did temporarily have a fawn tail.
Cool.
Like a deer tail. Partially, part of me regrets making it only temporary, because I think Kenna is already a super cute character, and the deer tail would only enhance that. And then she'd have to deal with all the nieces and nephews wanting to play and dodge with her Dow.
That would be funny.
Halflings. Really early on, I remember I ran it for a bunch of the people from the One Shot group. That was a lot of fun. Those guys were good to play. Were fun to play with.
Now, did you run that at Geek Fest as well?
No, I didn't run at Geek Fest because I think it was my anniversary and I had to step out early.
Okay.
Did you run that Philly's Games Con?
I did. That was the group that ran away from everything. One of the players was Natalie, that we had invited to our Underdark game, and she played with us, and she was super fun. She was playing the Mountain Dwarf Bard, College of Lore, and she kept botching her lore rolls, and then she would start telling lore on stuff, and making it up. It was the best.
That is great.
Yeah, there's no reason to be afraid or ashamed of those bad rolls. Embrace them.
Indeed.
And have some fun.
So I think you've ran the Maze of Man Dune as much as I've ran the Night Terrors game.
Yeah, a bunch of times.
And it is different when you run with different people. Every time it's different.
Yeah, I don't know if there's really a favorite. It's just you have different memorable moments from the different games.
Well, I enjoy running my my Haunted Mansion game, and I've run that a number of times. Maybe not as much as you've run the Maze of Man Dune. Because I ran that twice at Geek Fest. I ran that at Concoction. I ran that, for the group here. So I've run it at least 4 times. I want to say I ran it more than that. I don't remember where else I ran it though.
Well, that's seen quite a few revisions.
Yes, I mean it's always been an evolving process. But I definitely enjoy what I've done with that so far.
Hate's on a mission.
I'm just curious what's been going on in chat.
With the last group that I had run it for, like they got fixated on a detail, and it was a fluke based on, like, I went to the restroom, and the one player was like, oh, well, because another player mentioned something, he thought I passed him a note, like, secretly. And he's like, oh, this must be the clue. This must be, related to what's going on. So, like, he got everybody else convinced that this statue, or, like, the head of the Displacer Beast was the clue to what was going on. But the kid that was in the game, like, he's like, oh, when he saw the Displacer Beast head, he's like, oh, well, I was hunting a Displacer Beast, when I woke up and found myself here. So, like, they thought it was all, like, cruxed on this. And it wasn't.
It was just a random thing.
A random thing.
Coincidence.
Mere coincidence. Like, the player is like, oh, well, I can latch onto this part of the story, and I'll say something, and it just became a cool thing. And I love it how players can feed off of each other and possibly make something, out
of nothing.
Yeah.
That is actually a lot of fun and one of the best parts of the game for sure.
So you guys have any questions? Anything?
They're quiet today. They're very quiet.
Gotta,
It seems like we're a little light. I mean, it's the middle of the summer. People are doing stuff.
It's a really nice day out today, at least on the East Coast there.
When we were getting here, I was like, man, it's like sunny and the sun's warm, but there's a breeze blowing, and it's not even a hot breeze.
It's not super humid.
Can we just blow off working today? We can't.
I went out only to mail out last week's winners. And I was like, all right, well.
Back to the basement.
Back to the basement. That's where I've spent, most of my day, between getting the stuff set up for Nerdarchy and picking out the list of winners and game people and getting stuff set up. Did a lot today.
Happens like that. So this week, I think the videos we are releasing are the channel update video. Got some stuff in there to talk about with you guys. We got the using entertainment in your D&D game.
The games within games.
Games within games. Nice. And then we also have D&D languages, I think, is coming up, and using them in your game as well, which is kind of tied to an article Ted wrote written a few weeks ago.
It was a lot of fun, and I totally did the whole nerd thing.
Nerd Dog wants to know, did today's website post make any of you consider running a published adventure? Well, for us, we've been sequestered away in Ted's basement.
I think when that went up, I was already working on stuff for today. So I haven't read it yet. But what about you guys out there? Anybody?
Well, James Leslie too. We just want to say we wish you a speedy recovery, and hopefully, you get through things fast. And we appreciate the fact you're even here moderating for us and watching our videos while you're going through everything you are. We really do appreciate you, buddy. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Altarel, when you first created Hurok, did you think or imagine he'd become such an important NPC that he essentially becomes Sam's character's boyfriend?
Well, I think I created Hurok.
You did.
Yeah, Hurok's first appearance is in Ted's game.
Because he ran for the mayor position.
Yep. Yeah, and he's kind of grown and been used in several different ways. I know you've used him before, right?
Yes, and he's a friend or foe in one of the Patreon rewards.
Yeah, so
he's featured pretty prominently in the Scarlet
Sisterhood. Yes, in Scarlet Sisterhood, he's there a lot.
So I think it's awesome. I like seeing how, especially when we've got so many games out of one city, that characters or players will fixate or attach themselves to NPCs, and it means that it's important to them, and I like that. It makes it seem more real.
Now we may all play him differently.
Oh yeah,
possibility.
I'm pretty sure.
But going back to the whole fixating on weird things, Nelson says the party takes a 45-minute tangent to explore the crack in the wall. because
Well,
it's got to be a thing.
That is the danger. Like, anytime you say something to your players, like you might have just, it might just be a throwaway description to you. But they're like, oh, he mentioned it. It must be important.
Yeah, I did my latest game of Night Terrors that I ran at Concoction. It ended up being, I had the city better fleshed out because I had run several adventures and episodes there over the, since I had made Night Terrors. So I'm like describing things because I just know they're there in the city, and then they're just starting to get attached to different things. Like, oh, he said something about it. Let's go there. I'm like, oh crap.
Well,
What have I done?
Like, you had convinced me to definitely use the tiles as a way to have it be that much more expressive and visual. So when they flipped over the tile for the game room, like, it's not, oh, let's play ping pong and that kind of stuff. It's more like, this is where heads are mounted on the wall.
Yeah,
so I just like, well, what's some iconic monsters that somebody might have hunted? And my kind of go-to is Displacer Beast. It's low enough CR that, yeah, that could easily be something that they have. So I think the kid fixated on it. And that caused the ripple.
Yeah.
So, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, with the ripple effect, I had to make up a way for them to win. Because I was like, oh, well, this isn't... I mean, if they were playing a computer game, they would totally be dead. But thankfully, through the magic of RPG games and D&D, I was like, yeah, I guess this is how it would work if they were going to stay there the whole time. So it worked out cool. It was the most fun I had running it because of like how interesting and twisting turns the players took. But that's what's part of the fun.
Absolutely.
So, Altharel, when you first created Hurok, no, that's not the question. There's annoying same person, but yeah, his weapon does change constantly, not just between GMs, but between sessions of the same GM. I actually do it on purpose. Like, I always describe him having a different weapon. It's always a really big weapon, but sometimes it's a great sword, sometimes it's a maul, sometimes it's a great club. Variety is the spice of life, and Hurok takes that to the next level when it comes to his weapon. Sometimes he just wants to beat something to death with a big studded club. Other times he wants to stab it or slice it with a greatsword.
So there was questions for a while of like, does he have a magic weapon that all it does was shift forms? And like the one time, like, I don't know whether it was your game or someone or my game or what, but I know like. He went to his office, and there against the wall was like this array of large weapons. So, like, that question got answered.
It's like, what color tie do you want to wear? When you're a businessman, Hurok goes, what do I want slung over my back today?
What am I feeling like today?
Yeah.
Do I want to break something, cleave something, cut something?
Do I feel kind of, standoffish and aloof today? Maybe this glaive is what I'll go with.
Yeah.
And I see to me, like, glaive seems like almost too elven for him.
I don't know. It's a big stick with a large blade on the end of it.
You just put an axe.
And they're broad too. They're or even a halberd.
Yeah, halberd. You got the axe part. You got the hook part. Make a hammer piece to it. You do a lot of stuff with that.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh no, Aaron's been stuck in PlayStation land for the last few weeks. What kind of adventure is that?
I wonder if that's anything like that. There's a animated video that like the wife gets sucked into the TV, and they got to play through this video game. I don't know if you've seen. It's been out for years.
I vaguely remember seeing it.
That's what it reminds me of. So like being stuck in the actual game, dying, and I'll just restart.
Nelson Sprout. This saber doesn't match the rage in my eye today. Hurok would not use a saber unless he was using them for missile weapons, throwing them like daggers.
These javelins are fantastic.
Yeah, it's more a big, heavy. Like, he doesn't use weapons that weigh less than 5 pounds. That's what I'm thinking.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it speaks to his half-orc heritage. Now, his brother Hurok, that's another story altogether. He might use the lighter weapons.
But
I see him using like Arabian-style weapons for some reason.
I could totally see that.
It's got to be a one-handed weapon so he can still slap his belly.
Right. And despite his size, he's actually nimble.
Yeah, so Scimitar would work really well for that.
Or a falchion.
Oh, yeah.
I whip my falchion back and forth. I whip my falchion back and forth.
What do you think he is, Ford?
Maybe. Oscar. Oh, Oscar.
So I guess, I don't know if you
I see baby pictures.
Yeah, so, big congratulations to...
I don't know the name. I don't know any information. I don't know the sex. My wife is like asking all these questions. I'm like, I don't know. What's the baby's name? Baby. When did she have it? Before, now?
Yes.
Where is it on the internet?
That's about all I've got as well. But
I saw pictures on Twitter.
Yeah, but congratulations to...
I know the answers are out there if I sought them out, but don't really care that much.
Harsh, dude.
It's not harsh. That's like, I don't know. That's wife stuff. They care about that stuff. I guess some dudes do too. I don't know. Well, how much does the baby weigh?
I said I don't.
Oh, right. I'm the harsh one.
but to blame and be like, I don't care.
I don't.
It's not a high priority to know.
Yeah, I don't wish them any ill will or the baby any ill will. It's just not that important to me to know what sex, name, or weight.
Who are we talking about?
Travis Willingham and Laura Bailey from Critical Role. They had their first child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, see? There you go.
So, congratulations.
Are you dying to know the sex, name, and how much the baby weighs now?
I don't know who they are.
I'm more concerned whether or not the babies rolled their first die. Because David, at a very young age, he rolled his first D6.
Well, it was a D20. We brought him down. We put a D20 in his hand.
No, he was rolling his first character. They put a D6 and he dropped on
no,
6.
he had to drop a D20. He rolled pretty well, like an 18 or a 19.
Well, that's not what I recall.
I don't know. I'll have to consult the Oracle. So, another question. Do you think Ford, Jester, and Yasha get captured to account for parental leave and New York City filming obligations? Also, their kid's name is Ronan. Oh, nice.
That's a pretty cool name.
So, do you have to spell it like that, though, Doug?
Ronan.
Ronan.
Yes, I would absolutely say that that's exactly why they were captured. Because we know Ashley's heading back to New York. Yeah. We don't know when Laura and Travis are coming back. But we do know that for next week's session, they are having 2 special guests to kind of fill the void.
Ooh, filling the void. Do you know who they are?
I do not. Off the top of my head.
I
think he mentioned, but I didn't keep notes.
Son of a monkey's uncle.
Didn't keep notes. Don't know how much baby weighed.
Do you know anything?
Nope.
I'm gonna have to make sure I order my own food when we go to Wawa. Ted'll just mess it up because he doesn't care.
Just doesn't care anymore, Ted. It's like I don't even know you anymore.
We love Ted, by the way. We just mess with him.
A lot. Hey,
I just mess with him infrequently.
Listen.
This man messes with him a lot.
You chose Ted. I got stuck with Ted.
Huh.
You did invite me to play D&D, though.
That's true. That's true.
You could have told the sister that the wedding's off.
I've met your brother. It's over.
Not gonna happen. Sorry.
No.
Unless you get some kind of legal dislocation of brother sisterhood, this isn't working out. Yeah. So you didn't say that. So.
That's true. That is true.
But I am back to.
No, Ted's a great brother-in-law. If you gotta get stuck with someone, you want it to be Ted.
Thank you.
He's a real Boy Scout. Literally a real Boy Scout.
It's almost a compliment.
That almost felt heartfelt.
I'm tapped out. You've tapped me out emotionally now. I have nothing left. It's gonna take months to recharge.
I am back to trying to make some progress on the Critical Role Campaign 1. I'm finally into episode 61.
Ooh, how many are there?
It's over 100.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Too much. It's a lot of D&D.
It is.
If you guys keep talking about this stuff long enough, I'm going to have to start watching. I don't have time to watch it.
Season 1 for the Greyhawk game just wrapped up. It was only 3 episodes.
Oh, okay, that's pretty easy to watch.
Queen of Spiders. So they're taking some really old classic D&D adventures and running them through. So I was on board for the first part. So for the first season. And I don't know if I'm going to go into season 2 or not. Or maybe open it up for one of you guys if you want to do a three episode jaunt with Grant Ellis. It's a pretty fun game. They got a good cast over there.
Yeah, that's worth looking into.
So I was like, because Grant really likes the character, so I was like, well, maybe one of the other guys will take the character over and keep running Get.
That was very strange.
What is Get?
Get is a PHB Beastmaster Ranger with his flying snake, and he's a Kenko. When you introduce yourself,
that guy.
Yeah. When you introduce yourself, you have to shake people's hand and then scream in their face, "Get out of here!"
Was that your name, man? Is that why they call you Get?
Yeah. Because his name is "Get out of here." He had a very tragic backstory.
His backstory is pretty funny.
Yeah, he was raised in an exotic bird shop, but he came in as one of the birds.
Oh, that's rough.
And then they realized, like, this was not a bird, this is a person, sort of. And then they opened the cage and, like, get out of here! And, so he's had this, like, really long, antagonistic relationship with the shopkeeper, who, like, keeps throwing him out, but kind of secretly likes him.
Oh, okay. And then, because it's an exotic shop, they came upon a flying snake.
Well, it probably came in one of the crates as well.
Oh, yeah.
So he just, beast. Like, for my favorite terrains, I took Underdark, Urban, and, like, Forest.
Oh, cool.
And then, like, all of his favorite enemies are different humanoids. So he just knows about people from being raised in, like, a metropolitan city. So
Nice.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun to play.
And the flying snake does a lot of damage.
Yeah, it does.
No, absolutely.
As long as they don't harm you to poison.
Yeah, you're good. And the other things, they have flyby attack, so they're just like jump in, out, combined with some other things. It's a lot of fun. So we are up on the hour mark, pretty much. We said stuff, we gave stuff away. We're going to play a game. Well, you're going to play a game, some of you are going to play a game.
I'll play a game.
This guy.
So Nate will reach out to you, for the potential players. And, we'll probably be hearing back in the near future about, how many spaces he still has, because we almost never get the full allotment from
the emails that go out.
Once
it can happen, but it doesn't always. So usually we either go to the company NAG or the patrons and fill it up.
Yeah, I think I did the NAG last time, so I'll be doing Patreon this time.
Yeah, you send out the email within like 30 seconds or so. You're pretty much your game's full.
Yeah, that usually happens.
Yeah, you spend the rest of the time like just relying. Sorry, it's full. Sorry, it's full. Sorry, it's full. What are you gonna do? So with that, until next time,
stay nerdy. It's a big stack of decks.